Okay, Fresh. Well, I didn't want Bentley to be the only person I was trying to, like, I'm leaving you these messages, but he gets more time because he's in school, and I'm wondering how is school going for him, and does he like going? Is it like pulling teeth in the morning, or he's just like okay? And has he made some little friends there? Have you had a well, I guess it's too soon for a parent teacher conference yet, but probably will be having one in, I don't know, October. I guess you went to open house and how that was. Just wondering about all of that, new development. But I decided Bentley shouldn't be the only one just enjoying this. So I'm going to read you a book too. And the book I decided to read to you, just because I had to pick something that I had here at the house. I'll try to think of something else for you. But for now, I think this is a good book. It's The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Anyway, this book, I'll just tell you what it's about. I'll just read to you. And I think you've probably heard me talk about this before. It talks about people have different methodologies or different ways that they express love, or that they receive love, that the best way for them to receive love. And there are 5 love languages, and it's like love has its own dialect. I mean, you can talk to someone and tell them, hey, I love you, but it's the action of love that people need to receive on a regular basis. And so I'm just going to start by reading the first part of this book, and then I'll just read a little bit, and then I'll just send it to you, because that's my way of staying in contact with you, since I can't connect with you or get you on the phone. So the first is acknowledgments. And I'm not going to show myself. I'm just hopefully going to show this page. I'm a novice with this, so please be patient. Love begins, or should begin, at home. For me, that means Sam and Grace, Dad and Mom. Without them, I would still be seeking love instead of writing about it. Home also means Carolyn. If all wives loved as she does, fewer men would be looking over the fence. Shelley and Derek are now out of the nest, exploring new worlds, but I feel secure in the warmth of their love. I am blessed and grateful. I am indebted to a host of professionals who have influenced my concepts of love. Among them are psychiatrists Ross Campbell and Jason Swihart. For editorial assistance, I am indebted to Debbie Barr, Kathy Peterson, and Betsy Neuenhaus. The technical expertise of Tricia Cubay and Don Smith made it possible to meet publication deadlines. Last and most important, I want to express my gratitude to the hundreds of couples who over the years have shared their intimate side of their lives with me. This book is a tribute to their honesty. Okay, and it says that you can go and take a free 5lovelanguages.com, 5 being with the number 5. You can take a free test, and see what your love language style is. Whether and there's I don't know if I should just tell you the summary of the book. Yeah, maybe I should just tell you a summary of the book. Okay, so there are 5 love languages that people, I'm trying to get the right terminology. So anyway, Dr. Chapman was a marriage counselor, and he was trying to help people not get a divorce, try to help them to stay in their marital commitments. And after doing a lot of research and trial and error, he came up with these different love languages that people speak. And he summarized them into 5 different areas. And I want to tell you what they are, because I'm just going to do your summary. I guess it doesn't make sense. So, okay. So one of the 5 love languages is words of affirmation. And words of affirmation, people whose love language is words of affirmation, you can reach them and you can reach them and with verbal compliments, speaking positive to them, positive, encouraging words, motivating them. That's their love. That's what words of affirmation is. You're affirming them. You're speaking kindly to them. And I don't know if you remember the prayer that I sent you. That's one of the things that I pray for you when I say Precious will be, when Precious speaks, she'll speak with wisdom and kindness. And that comes to me from the Bible. That comes part of Proverbs 31. So that's what I say about you when I pray for you. And that's also part of having words of affirmation. So when God blesses you with a spouse, hopefully you'll refresh on this book, or I'll be around to give you a new copy, because he updates it every so often so that you can learn your husband's or future husband or significant other's love language. And that significantly helps a relationship go smoother. And the other love language is quality time. Some people's love language is quality time. They want you to spend time with them. They want you to go places with them. They want you to do things with them. They want you just there in their presence. Even if they're just could be doing something mundane. It doesn't have to be expensive, or it could just be, hey, I just want you with me. I'm going on this trip. Will you come with me? Or I'm going to this flea market or shopping or this yard sale or whatever the case may be. They want you there. Hey, can we just stay at home, or let's sleep in today and just be in bed and talk and just spend some time together. Or, let's go to a movie or a dinner. That's another love language that he talks about. So the other love language is receiving gifts. Some people's love language is, like he said, receiving gifts. They like receiving gifts. They want cards. They want flowers. They want presents. They want, surprise them with clothes or jewelry or whatever. Just some thoughtful act, even if it doesn't cost money. Even if you just give them a card or something tangible that they can put their hands on, that they can see you took the effort to get that for them. That's receiving gifts. And some people are like that from just how they grew up. And usually a person's love language is formed in their childhood. As most of our personalities and most of how we act as a person, the most formative years are the first 7 to 12 years of a person's life. So this is typically when these these love language will begin to develop. And the next love language is acts of service. And one is not, during the book, one is not better than the other. They're just each individual person's love language, how you can talk to them in their love language. If you want them to hear you, you want them to receive you, you want the relationship to be positive. Acts of service is simply acts of service. Is doing something for someone. Like if you come in the house and you see, hey, this house needs sweeping, or there's dishes in the sink. Maybe I should wash the dishes. The car is dirty. Maybe I should wash the car for them. What can you do to help that person? What can you do to make their life easier, to take some stress and pressure off of their life? Maybe, if someone's starting a business, maybe I can contribute to writing some emails or answering or making some phone calls. What can I do to help that person in their endeavor? That's what acts of service is. If it's a single parent, maybe I can offer to help the baby or do something to give a single parent some time to themselves. Maybe I'll babysit for a couple hours or something like that. Or just what can I do to help this person? And maybe I can do the laundry. And the next love language is physical touch. And physical touch does not mean sex. Take the sex off the table. That's a whole topic by itself. But it's not an actual one of the love language. Some people like physical touch. They like massages. They like when you caress them, or they might give you a pat on the back or want to hold hands. You see people in the malls or shopping or something, and they're holding hands while they're walking down the street, or he's got his arms around her waist, hugged up on her, or she's got her arms around his waist, hugged up on him. They like being close to each other. When they're sitting beside each other, they're sitting really close so they can feel each other touching each other. That's physical touch. They like the physical touch. The sex is like a whole separate subject when it comes to the love languages. But those are the 5 love languages. And if you don't know what your love language is, you can take that, go to that 5lovelanguages.com with 5 being the number 5. And you can take the test and see what your love language is. Now, I thought about you as I was like, I wonder, do I know what my daughter's love languages is? And I really couldn't guess. Well, if I could kind of, you as a young adult woman now, I'm not sure, but yours could be anything. Yours could be anything. And the reason why I say this is because I think you, growing up, thinking about your childhood, you probably had all of them. You probably had, the physical touch. Used to sit in my lap. We used to have our Friday night movie nights, and we snuggle up on the couch and watch movies and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm curious to know what it is for you as a young adult. Acts of service. I think I've always tried to help you in any way. I don't know what, I'm just wondering what yours would be in a relationship with a significant other, or maybe, I don't know. And it doesn't have to necessarily be with a significant other, but I'm thinking about in terms of you having a significant, but it's any relationship. It could be, how can you make that relationship better? How can you better get along with that person? You speak to them in their language. So sometimes you just have to ask a person, look, I don't know what your love language is. Can you help me? What is your love language? Do you like to be touched? Do you like to be rubbed? Do you like massages? Do you want me to help you around the house? Do you like to receive gifts? And sometimes you can be with a person and be around a person and be observant enough to know those things or learn those things. And sometimes you just gotta hey, look, I just gotta ask this question. I've been trying to figure out your love language. I don't have it down yet. So, and then they could have more than one too. He says that in the book. Sometimes people have more than one. That is my synopsis of the 5 love languages. I would really suggest as a young woman that you read this book. It will probably benefit you in so many ways. And even kids, even Bentley has a love language. So you can observe, and he makes a 5 love languages for kids too. So you can learn early on what your kids' love languages is, as well as, in addition, from a spiritual standpoint, learning what their gifts and talents is, so you can try to nudge them in the direction that God would have them to go in based on the talents that he's already given them and the gifts that he's already, and then you learn their love language, then you know how to, you can do things better to communicate and make sure you guys have a good parental relationship and get proper nurturing and stuff like that. So, if you don't want to buy this book, you can check it out from the library. Okay, yeah, I listened to the audiobook recently. I have the actual book, but it's been a while since I've read it. So you can check it out and listen to the audiobook. That's a good way to read a book, is just listening to the audio on it, because you can do that while you're doing chores or errands around the house, and then you have read a book that you listen to. I mean, you listen to it, but you read it, same difference. So, okay, I just wanted to share that with you. And I love you and I miss you. And I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope you have a really good week this week. And know that the Lord God loves you and your mom loves you and misses you too.